was addressed by young Minister Priyanka Radhakrishnan.
Representative from diaspora countries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank for the great honor and privilege to be your chief guest and deliver this keynote address. I feel humbled by this invitation by Prime Minister Modi, and I wish to thank him for this. Mr. Prime Minister, may I take this opportunity to particularly mention and express my gratitude for the warm words you publicly expressed after my inauguration as President of Suriname last July in your program, Man Ki Baat, on 26th of July last year. This was highly appreciated. And in the same spirit, Mr. Prime Minister, may I also thank you for the kind greetings and the attention you bestowed on the diaspora of Suriname in the Netherlands during your visit there in 2017. Mr. Prime Minister, I had the privilege to meet you and the late Sushma Swaraj in 2018 when I headed a delegation to the first PIU parliamentarian delegation from Suriname to Delhi during the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. I'm looking forward for the opportunity to meet you again at some point in the not so distant future as the head of state of Suriname. Last year, President Suriname Nat Kovind visited Suriname, and it would be my honor to visit India very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, my country Suriname and India have a long history of almost 148 years, a history that has shaped lives of many who traveled the Kalapani and other oceans to new and uncertain destinations. All the while, these Girmitias, migrants, kept and maintained their cultural roots and heritage of this great nation, India. Like many of my countrymen, I am also the product of this history of migration. Today, destiny has put us in this time and place to guide and steer Suriname in the tradition of the universal teaching of the great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, to bring people together, to bind them to one nation, and to do so peacefully and in the traditions of an open and democratic society. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to briefly mention a bit history of my country. As president, I'm grateful to be a part of a multi-ethnic society and peaceful society, a society whose forefathers came from all over the world. As a son of Suriname, I also feel pride in being of Indian heritage, a heritage and culture which was passed on by my parents and grandparents, who 148 years ago started this adventurous journey from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and sailed from Calcutta in search of their dreams for a better life in Suriname. Today, that bond is expressed by the many cultural and tourist visits my fellow countrymen bring to India. It is symbolized also by the twin statues of Baba and Mai in our capital Paramaribo and in Kolkata. Today, the descendants of these Girmitias who were recruited and brought to Suriname as indentured laborers have helped to create a new country and make it their new home. They have contributed immensely to Suriname and the Netherlands, the former colonial power that ruled Suriname for more than 300 years. Today, Suriname Hindustani are part and parcel of every aspect of the society. The Girmitias of the 19th century made an amazing journey from poor farmers to global citizens. Suriname Hindustanis have formed their own diaspora in the Netherlands, in the Dutch Antilles, and in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, today as President of Suriname, I'm proud to say that Suriname, with the election of my new government, is again viewed by the world as a democratic country governed by the rule of law, based on the universal principles like equality, non-discrimination, respect for basic human rights, free speech, and free to worship any faith. Suriname has a multi-party system with many political parties, and parties must work with each other to form coalition governments. We managed to do so by the perseverance from our leaders who, as I mentioned earlier, were inspired by the non-violence philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, and this has since become a cornerstone of our political culture. At this special occasion of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, it is also important to recognize and celebrate that the Suriname Hindustanis have managed to maintain their heritage, their culture, and customs. As we say here, their paramparas, Sanskriti, and Bhasa. We have a vibrant Hindu and Muslim community. Today, we still speak Bhojpuri, Suriname style, Suriname Hindustani, and we believe we have the best traditional Indian cuisine in the Caribbean. We still teach our youngsters traditional folk dances and folk music like the Baithak Gana. We celebrate Holi Phagua, and we observe important holidays like Diwali, which is a national holiday in Suriname. We cherish Bollywood, and we benefit from modern advanced Indian information technology. In short, India and Suriname are bonded on many levels, historically, religiously, linguistically, and culturally. Looking into the future, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that we now have another historic opportunity to add another layer to that bond. I believe that our two countries can and should increase their businesses and commercial relationship to strengthen the bond. In this interconnected world we all live in, we value international relationships based on respect and mutual benefits. From the Suriname perspective, we would welcome expertise from India in the area of food security. One of the main global challenges of our future, Suriname can and must play its part. We had a tradition of a great rice industry. Some of the famous rice varieties were exported to the Punjab in India through the one-time internationally acclaimed Rice Research Center at Wageningen, Nikeri. We can reclaim that tradition with the use of new high-tech approaches. Our diaspora students and researchers should be able to tap into the vastly available expertise India has. The already successful Know India program should be emphasized and broadened. In the area of IT consultancy and development, Suriname's young populations can be a great resource. During my 2017 visit, I already proposed to establish a special Indian diaspora committee to study these issues and to come up with a report and proposals to identify opportunities and practical proposals that will benefit both India and Suriname. To facilitate all these efforts, I wish to propose India and Suriname should introduce the free movement of people between our countries without requiring visas. Suriname is prepared to take a first step in doing so by ending visa permits for visitors from India to Suriname. I believe It would benefit tourism between our countries and would give an important impulse to business opportunities between our countries. Ladies and gentlemen, may I conclude by saying that the importance of the Indian diaspora can and must be one of mutual benefits. If we approach the opportunities in this way, we can achieve great things for our countries. It is written in the Bhagavad Gita beautifully that the strength of us as human beings is to connect people. Sarva bhuta hite rata, what literally means to be busy constantly with the well-being of all. In this regard, it is also our duty to connect the Indian diaspora community with Bharat Mata and thus to connect my beautiful country Suriname with our cultural heritage in India. Ladies and gentlemen, our Suriname diaspora is part of India's soft power. From my perspective, I wish to say that consequently, India is also part of Suriname's soft power. We have a historical bond with each other, and that bond will be our strength to move ahead, hand in hand, for the benefit of both our countries and the international Indian diaspora community. Bhai aur bahino, duniya ko shrestha banao. Let us jointly make this a noble world. May I once again thank your Prime Minister Modi for the invitation to address this distinguished audience. And ladies and gentlemen, may I thank you for your kind attention. Namaste, and may God bless the peoples of our countries, India and Suriname. Once again, I thank you. Namaste.